away days for Blackburn Rovers as, of course, the Lancashire outfit hit the road for the very first time. And this weekend they go into Wales to take on Swansea City. Can we get the better of the Swans? We're going to take a little look next. Right, folks, back once again with another match preview. Looking forward to Blackburn Rovers taking on Swansea City over at the Liberty, and we'll get to that in just one second. If you know where you've been, smash your subscribe button and bang up today. All things Rovers related, Championship related, World Football related. We got it all here, boys. Under one Rooski. Of course, we are looking forward to getting on the road for the first time this campaign. And can JDT, of course, get his first away win under his belt? Of course, take a look at it, all of it in a minute. Of course, big shout out to my VIPs. They are the patrons, guys. You know who you are. But anyway, a big shout out to Polo F at GFX for the graphics here. Fantastic job. He's absolutely smashing it, as he, of course, helps out on the channel. Overseas mafioso extraordinaire. But anyway, let's get in the deep end and have a look at the game itself coming at you this weekend. Alrighty then, folks, this is what we're talking about. It is Swansea, it is Rovers, it's at the Liberty. That's right, that's over in Wales, in Swansea, of course. So let's take a look at the game in all its glory. That's right, let's take a look at the coaches there. Coaches squaring off in the dugouts. It is Russell Martin, the young gun Russell Martin. Guess what? I'm actually older than him. Goodness gracious me. He's a baby, 36 years of age, but he is tipped to go the distance. Of course, earning his Spurs, and MK Dons now earning, of course, his reputation, playing his style of football, and a future Scottish manager in the making here, hopefully, just 36 years of age. 1.36 points per match, not the greatest, but again, it is a progress. It is a marathon, not a sprint. And of course, it will test the patience of Swansea City fans this season, as a lot of folks are tipping them to go that extra chunk now and make it push for the playoffs. Meanwhile, standing in his way is JDT, Yundal Thomason. I keep butchering his name, but he is a character in himself, and he kicked off with a fantastic start to his campaign with a win last week. 1.66 points per match. That's included in his time at Malmo, where he won back-to-back titles as well. So let's take a look at the most valuable players. Ben Cabango at the back. Actually, he used to play centre-back usually. Valued around about £7.2 million. Unfortunately, I don't think he's going to be involved this weekend against Rovers, but he's 22 years of age, and of course a major asset to Swansea City, and again moving forward. As for Rovers, of course, the Chilean sensation, the Santiago striker, it is, of course, Big Bad Bob Roberto Diaz, born in Stoke. That's right, of course, expected to leave at some point. We don't know when, but we are resigned. We are resigned to losing it. There's no question that he will leave. Well, actually, there might be a murmur that he might stay, and then we're held to ransom at the end of the campaign. Let's take a look at the values then, and some of the numbers for these two squads. Again, Rovers with one of the youngest, if not the youngest, squad in the Championship, 24.4 on average age compared to the 25 for Swansea. We, of course, got a higher market value at the moment for our players, 37.76. Swansea 66 with a 36.99 rated. I don't know what all this market value is, but let me know if you know down below. They have more national team players than we do. They have more youth national team players than we do, and more foreigners as well. So that's the state of play. But let's take a look at Swansea, our host this coming weekend. This is their squad, of course, for the first team squad anyway. Andrew Fisher, ex-Rovers extraordinaire, was actually on the books at MK Dons, picked up pretty much the first opportunity by Russell Martin to join him at Swansea City. Of course, Harry Darling opened up his account with an absolute ripper. Of course, Travis with his own ripper. Darling pretty much matched it, if not equaled it, if not excelled it with his ripper last time around. A couple of standouts you got to watch out for me. Jamie Patterson goes under the radar. A very much underrated player, can score goals, is a problem player. Michael Obafemi, a player that we were linked with before, held to ransom maybe for his wages, but guess what? He hit the goal scoring form last season. He did miss a bit of a clanger last time around, so maybe he's going to be looking to settle that score this time around. Alongside him up top is Joe Perreault, probably their most reliable asset, and of course a returning face in the veteran, that is Joe Allen, yet to play, at least yet to start anyway. So those are some key members as well. These are the standout performers as of right here, right now. Match number 1, Fisher with, of course, 8.10 rated according to SofaScore. So he did a pretty much man of the match sort of rated performance there. Definitely the player of the match for Swansea. And then of course Matt Grimes, of course ex-Rover, didn't he play for Rovers for a little bit on loan? And then the chasing exciting bloody pack. This is the stats then, just the one goal so far. Of course, it is early days. These numbers are going to be a bit minimalistic heading into this one. Perot and Soroniola with a couple of yellow cards between the two sides. No red cards as of yet. The situation heading out of this game, it is Oxford United in the Calabria Cup. That's, of course, on Tuesday the 9th, followed up with another away trip to Blackpool, of course. And then the complete the 5-game stretch here against Millwall, against Luton, and then away days at Middlesbrough. Of course, so far, just the one draw. That was against Rotherham. This is my expected lineup here. We're going to go with Fisher between 6, Darling, Norton, and Wood. Young gun there. Sorolone on the left-hand side, Letterbadu on the right, Grimes and Fulton in midfield with Patterson, Bafemi, and Pirot. No Liam Walsh and no Ben Cabango as of right now. Moving on, of course, take a look at, of course, how they started up their season. Their one goal was from open play. It was a ripper. Make sure you check it out on the highlights wherever you can find them. Meanwhile, of course, the possession for Swansea, 40% of their possession was down the right-hand side, 31% down the left, and 29% down the middle. As for the action zones, 39% of that to action was in the middle third there, 31% moving forward, and 31% in the own third. The shots, though, when they, of course, they did have some shots, 31% was down the middle, 14% down the left and the right. Shot zones, 43% of it was in the 18-yard box. 57% was, of course, long range, including that ripper. As for, of course, the visitors, and of course the mighty blue and white, will be wearing, I think, the dark blues. This coming at you, this match. This is the refreshed squad, of course, heading into this. It does have Sami Smolich, of course, recently signed from Peterborough. Does it have Tyler Morton in there? It should do. I'm trying to scan here. Can you see him in there? I don't actually see him in. Yeah, he's in there. The old young babyface assassin from Liverpool. So a couple of little additions from the previous squad, which took on QPR. So Rovers will have a couple of fresh bodies to choose from. No Hayden Carter, I believe he's out injured. Yeah, and of course we'll see who else arrives and leaves before kick-off on this one. I may be seeing the likes of Butterworth perhaps leaving on a full-time deal somewhere else. And then someone else maybe further down the rankings. We'll see about that. This is, of course, the rankings for Rovers' performances so far. Lewis Travis with a ripper and a good performance, captain's performance, made it into a lot of team of the weeks. And of course, Diaz with a 7.3, and then the chasing pack. A lot of people slammed Pickering's performance for the weekend, but to be honest with you, I didn't see too much wrong. Yeah, there was a little bit flaky in areas, but all in all, not too shabby. The stats for Rovers, again, bare minimum here, just the one goal. Travis Buckley with the one and only yellow card from the previous match. Heading out this game, we're taking on Hartlepool again. Of course, we did take him on the pre-season, but I do anticipate the likes of Morton, the likes of Smolich, the likes of Rankin Costello, all the fringe players to get in on this, and of course, maybe even make a stake a claim for a starting berth. Then, of course, we'll take on West Bromwich Albion back at Ewood Park on the 14th of August, then away trips to Reading and Sheffield United before we bring on Stoke back at Ewood Park on the 27th. This is the opening day, 1-0 win against QPR. Great way to start the season. We've wiped away that hoodoo, of course. We were forever winless at home, but now it's been back-to-back seasons with an opening day win. This is the team I expect. Bit of a change, just one change. Kaminsky, Pickering, Ayala, Wharton, and Britton. Travis and Buckley. I've got Dolan in the middle here, taking out Vale. I think Vale should be more of a sub player. Dak could also get in here, depending on how JDT's feeling. Yeah, Hedges on the right. You got the assist, Diaz and Gallagher up top. Talking about Rovers' stats and figures here, that one goal has been dubbed as a set piece. It did originate from a corner, but there was a bit of passage of play in between the corner and the goal, so I'm not too sure how they can fudge that off as a set piece. But anyway, Rovers, of course, preferring the right-hand side. That's the Callum Britton effect right there. 38% down the left and 20% down the middle. Action zones are 44% down the middle, 31% moving forward, and 25% in our own defensive third. As for the shot zones, 33% in the 18-yard box, 67% in the outside of the box. But guess what? In that Bradley Dack zone, there is, in the 6-yard area, 0 shots. Guess what? That's where he belongs. Yes, there is a bit of a mumbling and grumbling about where he's going to fit in the JDT. It is early days. He's basically 2 years out of action, so let's give him a benefit of the doubt and watch him raise his game. 44% of all our shots coming down the left-hand side, 33% down the middle, and 22% down the right. Let's take a look at these two sides then in action between each other. Played 11 times this year, 11-4 wins for Swansea, 3 for Rovers, and 4 draws, of course. Just 1 win, 6 though for Swansea, 42% form, just 1 defeat for now for the Rovers of the last 6 games. That's 75% for them moving forward. Our biggest win over Swansea, 3-1 win. The biggest win for them over us was a 3-0 win. They scored 19 goals compared to our 16 over the course of those 11 games. Works out about 1.73 goals per match for Swansea, 1.45 for Rovers. Let's take a look at the recent form there. This is, of course, stretching back into last season. As you can see, there hasn't been a win for Swansea since they beat Derby way back when. As for Rovers, of course, their last defeat was against Bournemouth a couple of games towards the back end of the season as well. So kind of hot and cold form for both of these two sides. Nothing really consistent. What about, of course, the stats for the championship as a whole? Well, as you can see, Swansea got themselves off to a possession-based start, which is what they're building here. 68.3% possession throughout their last match. Burnley, Coventry, Middlesbrough and Watford make up the Power 5. As for the most aggressive, Cardiff lead the charge there. 4 yellows and a red. Preston, of course, up there with a red as well. Norwich should also be up there with a red, unless they've got that rescinded. I don't know. But anyway, moving forward, aerial duels, Rovers were in charge there by a distance, 72.7% aerial duels. As for Middlesbrough and Darrell Lennon, they're in second spot as well. Wigan with, of course, 20 shots per game. They were very, very active, but of course couldn't break the deadlock against Preston, Middlesbrough, Burnley and Luton, with Hull in top 5. Pass accuracy, Swansea lead the charge there. Burnley, Hull, Coventry and QPR make up the Power 5. These, of course, that's just a random segue into the rest of this stuff here. We've got the recent records then between these two sides. This is home and away. Of course, Swansea did beat us last time around back in February 2022. 1-0 win it was with Michael Obafemi on the score sheet on the 16th. That's when we were in that bit of a rut where we were in the mix, but we just couldn't get out of it. Of course, we did play each other at the opening day last season. It was a 2-1 win for Rovers with Gallagher, Brereton, Diaz on the score sheet, Jamie Patterson on the score sheet for Swansea, and then they're chasing. Let's take a look though at the record at Swansea. And of course, we haven't won in the last 5 games. Of course, the only positive result was a draw a couple of years back with Danny Graham on the score sheet, and Andre Ayew, of course, was always a thorn in our side as well. So he's no longer there, but of course, we are overdue a victory. Can the new JDT effect roll into another week? We'll see. As for the strengths then, shall we? Swansea strengths, create long shots, coming back from losing positions, avoiding offside, defending against attack down the wings, that's their weaknesses. Defending attacks through balls, stopping opponents from creating chances. Their style of play, short passes, possession football, taking a lot of long shots, controlling the game in the opposition half, attacking down the middle. As for Rovers' strength, set pieces, aerial duels, of course. Our weaknesses, though, keeping possession of the ball, avoiding offside, and avoiding individual errors. Our style of play, long shots, short passes, and we do play the offside trap. The forecast is Swansea will stray offside often. No real insight into the game because it is early. We're trying to get the numbers in here. This is the table as it stands. Rovers sitting pretty in 4th, and of course a win for us this week. Potentially we could go top, but let's not get excited about ourselves. As for Swansea, they're 12th, and a win for us, a win for them, they could see them leapfrog us in the table as well. What's going on this weekend then, shall we? Of course, coming at you on Friday. It is, of course, Birmingham and Huddersfield again on Friday night football. Early kickoff on the Saturday, though. Norwich against Wigan, then it's Burnley against Luton. Of course, on the normal 3 p.m. kickoffs. United, that's Sheffield United against Millwall. Stoke against Blackpool. Preston against Hull. Bristol City against Sunderland. And then we have, of course, Reading and Cardiff. QPR against Middlesbrough. But the game of the day on Saturday will be Swansea up against Blackburn Rovers. Meanwhile, on Sunday, though, it's Coventry Rotherham, and then Monday is West Brom and Watford again on the Monday Night Football. This is, of course, currently the early door leaders for the Golden Boot. Of course, Cresswell with a couple of goals for Millwall, Clark, and then I'm not even going to bother reading that list because it is just whoever bloody found the back of the net. As for the most aggressive, again, these are all generic sort of match day number 1 sort of stats. Anyway, now, of course, we come to, of course, my prediction of the game, but I also want your predictions, of course, and we'll feature them next week, see who got it close to the money. So make sure you put your predictions down below in the old comment section, and then we'll do a bit of a reveal next week. Who got it right, who got it wrong? I'm actually going to be a little bit brave on this one. I think I don't think we'll win the game. I don't think. Away days, of course, it's going to be tricky. Swansea playing their possession-based football. Obafemi has got a point to prove after that clanger. If you've not seen the clanger, make sure you check it out. He did miss a wide open goal, so he'll be looking to rectify the wrong. As for Rovers, of course, we're going to be trying to keep house here, keep it clean, keep it tight at the back, and I think it's either going to be a 0-0 or maybe if we do take the lead, we'll maybe have that little Blackburn Rovers effect where we'll kind of shit the bed towards the end and of course concede a goal. So I'm going to go with a 1-1 draw. Let me know what you're thinking about the game, of course, down below, and we'll feature them next weekend. And also make sure you smash your subscribe, smash the thumbs up, and smash the little bell, boys and girls, so you don't miss a trick right here at Blackburn Rovers Seas. We're going to have non-stop coverage of this game. We've got an away fans interview coming up. We've also got hopefully a combined 11. We'll be there for match day, of course, feet on the ground. We'll have a vlog coming out of this. I'll be here with a watch along. Of course, I might even have a bit of company as well. Pre-game as well, the actual watch along. Then the vlogs, or the vlog, and then the match cams, following up, of course, with my review and all that kind of stuff. We got it all here, guys. All here. You're going to be sick to the back teeth of Swansea against Rovers. But of course, the coverage right here, right now, begins today. But anyway, that's it, my friends. Until then, boys and girls, smash your subscribe, smash the thumbs up, smash the little bell. And of course, I'll see you, of course, for the return, whenever that may be.